Hello everyone, welcome to our video tutorial this week. We want to thank you for always liking our videos. Thank you for always commenting our videos, and also thank you for sharing these videos to those who are in need of these videos all around you. Thank you also for subscribing to our YouTube channel. This week we want to continue in the series of lighting, and today we want to talk about light sources. Light sources. Let's go. Yes, there are two basic light sources, and we'll be talking about these two basic light sources and how they reach the subject. Two basic light sources and how they reach the subject. First, the two basic light sources are natural source and artificial source. Natural source and artificial source. The natural source of light is the sun. That is the only major natural source of light that we have, and no other source of natural source. That's the only natural source that we have. For example, if you are shooting in the exterior and you don't go about with the artificial light, then you can make use of your sun to light your subject. In making use of your sun to light your subject, all you just need is the manipulation of the ray of light that comes from the sun for you to be able to get all the light sources around your subject perfectly. You need a key light, the sun will do that to you. You need a field light, you will only need to have the reflector to get your field light on the body of your subject. You need a backlight. You also need to create a particular thing, and you need a diffusion. All you just need is to create your butterfly and keep rolling with your shoots. So the manipulation of your natural light will give the best of the look of your film. We will talk about that in another series. Now, the second source of light is artificial source. Artificial source are man-made source of light. They are man-made source of light. Example is the one you are looking right behind me. That's an artificial light source. All the light I use to illuminate myself here are artificial light. LEDs, your Fresnel, your Kinoflows, your Redhead, your every other light that you can think about, including the home lamp, bedside lamp, the electric bulb, and all of them, they are artificial light source. As long as they are not God's made lights, they are artificial lights. So you can decide to shoot your movie making use of artificial light source, and you can also decide to shoot your movie making use of natural light source. Yes, when we know these two types of light sources, we need to know how they reach our subject. There are two ways by which this artificial light or natural light can reach our subject. The number one way is direct way. Direct way of reaching your subject, or indirect way of reaching your subject. Your light sources or your light source can reach your subject in a direct form, or it can also reach your subject in an indirect form. Now, when your light is reaching your subject in a direct form, that light is incidental. We can call it incidental light source. We can call it incidental light source. Take, for example, light that illuminates me right here, is reaching me directly from the source of an artificial light source. It's reaching me directly from the source of an artificial light. So without any interruption, without any blockage, the light is reaching me directly. So this type of light is called direct light source, or you can call it incident light source. So which you will always produce an incident light ray to illuminate your subject. So if you understand that light can reach a subject in a direct form, that is, the light as it comes from the source, directly from the source, is hitting the subject, that is direct way of illuminating your subject. Now, when you are illuminating your subject in an indirect source, there are two ways by which you illuminate your subject in an indirect form. The very first way by which the light source reaches your subject in an indirect way is by reflection. The very first way by which the light reaches your subject in an indirect form is by reflection. By reflection. When light is coming from a source, lands on a particular element before it is directed to the subject, that is what we refer to as reflected light source. That is what we refer to as a reflected light ray or reflected light source. And this is an indirect way of illuminating your subject. That is, the light as it is coming from the source, first of all go to a particular element, and that element will now reflect it to the subject. That is what we refer to as an indirect, the first form of an indirect way of illuminating your subject. The second form of an indirect way of illuminating your subject is by diffusion. By diffusion. Now, when the light is coming directly from the source, and then there is a translucent material or a transparent material or a particular material that can allow light to pass through, but not all the illuminating strength of that light will pass through. That is what we refer to as diffusion. When you have your light source coming directly on the subject, but being covered by a diffusion. Example, we call it diffuser, some we call it tracer, some we call it gel, some we call it whatever element, whatever material, whatever substance you use to cut down the illumination strength of that light is what we refer to as diffusion. Now, you can even use butterfly. You can even use diffuser gels. You can even use diffuser textile. You can even use diffuser textile. You can even use glypholine. Different kind of elements that you can use. As long as the light, as it is coming from the direct source, hits that very particular element before it passes through that element to reach the subject. An example of a diffusion is this. It can be a translucent body or it can be a transparent body. So when light is coming directly from the source, and that light, instead of hitting the subject directly, it is being blocked by a particular diffusing material. And then the light now passes through that diffusing material to reach the subject. That is what we refer to as an indirect way by diffusion. Indirect way of lighting your subject by diffusion. Take, for example, the light that is coming from my side here. Instead of it to reach me directly from the source, I put a diffusion on it. So putting a diffusion on it, I have made the light to become an indirect source that reaches my subject. Indirect source that reaches my subject. This is another way by which you can manipulate your light to get whatever desired look you want on your film. If you can practice all these that we're talking concerning light, it will make your film better. Thank you for watching our video tutorial this week. God bless you.